Hello. I know you can't see me quite yet because I have to like set my phone up on the tripod, and then I just stepped on an Erin Condren ruler and broke it into pieces. All right, now let me get it pulled up so I can look at the comments and see everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this later time is a little bit better for everybody. Okay. Hello. About to make my tea. I have my tea too. One of the David C. Advent calendar for today was this like ginger turmeric, which was, I mean, for being sick, like it was probably the perfect tea I needed. I definitely added some honey though to make it a little bit sweeter. So hopefully it's good. It's still very hot. Later's definitely better for the West Coast. Last week I had some conflict, so it didn't really work. All right, I think I'm centered. That looks good. Hello, little brother. I heard that y'all went and saw The Grinch. I'm definitely jealous. Although Dad said it wasn't good. He was like, it's like all the other Grinches. But I like The Grinch. He said, don't waste your money. Okay, hello. So I have my iPad today. There's like, Inception. I'm hoping that it will keep me from, I'm not going to be leaning forward and back looking at my computer as much. That like I still have to look down to look at the comments just like last week. But I'm hoping that the iPad will make it a little bit less awkward. Hello. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Okay, so I have my notes. I don't have hands, like my iPad, my notes, my tea. So last week we hung out and we talked about 2018. All of 2018 we talked about events. We talked a lot about planner events. We talked about some struggles of 2018. We talked about some achievements, and it was a great conversation. I think we talked about a lot of really great things. If you didn't catch that one, I highly recommend that you go watch it or listen to it. And this week we're going to talk about 2019, and a couple things. Not much is going to change with this week. It's going to be kind of the same setup. If you have any questions, please feel free to jump in. Like I said, I'm going to try and do a better job of having the iPad. Hopefully it won't be quite as awkward, but I'm still going to have to look down. And I'm going to try and do a better job of reading the questions that I'm answering, because a lot of people, especially for lives that are super long, want to just listen to them almost like a podcast of sorts. And so I want to read the question back. Have you ever been on a conference call where you have to repeat the question because the remote sites can't hear the other remote sites? You ever been there? So that's what I'm going to treat it as, and I'm going to read the questions that I answer before I answer them. So, hello. Okay, and then same as last week, we're going to try and keep it to about 45 minutes to an hour tops, just so that people do want to go back and rewatch it and get the value of the things that we talk about by going back. And no one wants to go watch like a 2 or 3 hour live. I don't want to go back and watch a 2 or 3 hour live. So, hello, friends. Okay, so let's start with the fun stuff. 2019, we're going to talk about events. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is actually not, I mean, it's an event. Don't get me wrong, it's an event. But it is really going to drive how the rest of my 2017, did I say 2017 before? 2019 is really going to drive how the rest of my year is structured. And that is because in November, I am going to India for Nina. If you don't know her, she is Nina Planning over on Instagram for her wedding. And hello. So that, I'm so excited. I am beyond excited. Sienna's going with me. We're both so excited to go to travel together. We haven't really done a ton of traveling together that was not for a thing. Like it wasn't for a family thing, a wedding, a work trip, whatever. Like we haven't done hardly any of that together, just the two of us. And so we're excited about that. And we're obviously excited to go to our friend's wedding. I mean, it's going to be unreal. But that is taking up a lot of our vacation time and a lot of our vacation budget. And so what that means for 2019 is my event options are quite limited, because I just don't have the vacation time to allot to a bunch of planner events. So the ones I'm going to are very specific and very picky, and that's just how 2019 is just going to pan out. Yes, planner friends make the best friends. I'm so excited for her wedding. I So Charlie is about to hop up on, well, she's hopping up on the table. Hi, do you want to come be a part of it? Come here. Come here. Come here. I don't know if y'all can see her. You can see her tail. Oh, there she is. Okay. Now we have Charlie. Now it's really official. So the first event I'm going to in 2019 is really easy because it's here in New York, and that is the New York City Planner Addicts event in January. It's actually out in Brooklyn, but it's in New York, so I don't have to worry about travel expenses, so that makes that one super convenient. I'm also speaking at that one on a panel with a couple of different entrepreneurs, some other amazing boss ladies, and we are just going to be talking about sort of being an entrepreneur, being your own boss of sorts. Although, I mean, I do have a full 9-to-5 job, but I'm also moderating the panel, so I'll be doing a lot of the question asking as well. Go wedding. Yeah, well, we'll get to go wild, Illy. No, don't you fret. So that is the first one I'm going to, is New York City, and there are still tickets for that. So if you are anywhere near New York or you want to travel to New York, yes, I know January is probably not the ideal time of year to travel to New York, but it'll be fun. They know how to have a fun event. I'll leave it at that. The next one will be in February. Again, another cold city in February. And that is the Chicago Planner Conference. So Chicago Planner Conference. We talked about this one a little bit in depth last week, and I don't want to go on for too long because it's sold out. And I don't want to ramble on about how amazing this event's going to be when you can no longer get tickets for it. But I am really excited for the event. I'm excited that a couple of my New York friends are coming with me to Chicago, and that one is also incredibly reasonable because my mom lives there. First off, flights from New York to Chicago are very, very inexpensive, and then my mom lives there, so I will be staying at the hotel Friday and Saturday of the event, but then I can stay longer and just stay with my mom. So that is event number 2. And then the one that I wouldn't miss for the world, and that is Go Wild. I even am using my Go Wild mug that I got at the May Designs event that was part of Go Wild last year. And that is in Vegas in May. It's in May, technically. Very beginning of May. Thank God. It almost conflicted with my brother's college graduation. Whoa. Oh, he's so old. That makes me old. He is graduating from college the weekend before Go Wild, and I was so afraid they were going to conflict, and it was either going to mean, it was just probably wasn't going to be a good conversation with my mom. Let's leave it at that. Hello, welcome. Okay, so that's pretty much it, to be honest, as far as planner events go for 2019 that I am planning on attending. I mean, maybe something else will pop up, but like I said, most of my funds and vacation time are relatively allocated. I have a couple flexible days, depending on what I do for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but so I still have some vacation time that I can work in throughout the year, but that's pretty much it for the most part. Real talk. Will there be Go Wild tickets for non-alums? So, in the past, for Go Wild, and they have always done this and they're doing it again, if you were an alumni of a prior event, you got pre-access to tickets, pre-sale tickets. So you were basically guaranteed a ticket. And every year, they have grown the event. So the first year it was like 400, and then it went to like 700, and then this past year it was like 1,300. And this year they have said that they are not planning on increasing it all that much from the amount that it was. So the reality is, if every alumni bought a ticket, there would be no more tickets available to the general public. But my opinion is that there will still be tickets available for non-alums. And I say that for a couple of reasons. The first one being, last year it took a long time for it to sell out in general. Like, to sell out all 1,300 tickets took a while. And I think that the location being in Texas, I think a lot more local Texas people went because they could drive. And people can drive to Vegas, obviously. Like, if you live in Arizona or you live in California, like, you could drive to Vegas. But I think Austin was a much more drivable city, and I think that made the cost more reasonable for people. So there are a lot of alumni that haven't bought tickets yet. So I think that there will still be tickets. Whether they're going to sell out like that day, that's hard to say. I hope not. I hope that everybody that wants to go really wants to go. I hope that they gave people enough lead time with the ticket date that they can get it ready. But that's, in my opinion, there will still be tickets. As of right now, there's still tickets. You know what I mean? Like the alumni haven't bought them all up yet. So now I understand they still have time and they can buy them up until they are, well, they can always buy them, but their pre-sale only lasts until it's for sale to the public. Worth the money. Are you talking about, Lisa, are you talking about Go Wild? She asked if it was worth the money. I'm assuming they were talking about Go Wild. I think Go Wild is 100% worth the money. And the biggest reason is it's an experience and it's like a weekend away for yourself where it's an investment in yourself. I always come away from Go Wild just like completely rejuvenated, completely ready to take on the world and be a better version of myself. I get so much out of the speakers. That's a big part of it. I mean, the speakers have always been incredible, and there's always been one person that I'm always really excited to hear. And so that's a big part of it. I think just everybody being together, being surrounded by all of these amazing women is just, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to pass up. And then it's so hard to explain until you've been there, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. And I don't know that the price would be the deterrent. Even this year when I thought the weekend wasn't going to work for me, I was still going to figure out a way to go, whether it was leaving early to go to my brother's thing or having a tough conversation with my parents or whatever it was, I was going to find a way to go. I think that it is hands down worth every penny. And there are a lot of ways to make it less expensive. Now, obviously you can't get out of the ticket price. That is unchangeable. In terms of the hotel, you can either try and find a less expensive hotel, or the hotel prices this year are actually not bad. Just get 3 roommates. I've had four to a room every year, and it's totally fine. It has never been an issue. In fact, it's more fun. It's more fun to have like a bunch of people in a room. And so that definitely helps cut down on the cost. You can go eat at less expensive places. Some of this, actually every city up, not that Vegas doesn't have good food. I'm not going to say that, but I think that the other places all had super unique food that I really wanted to try. So I may have splurged a little bit more on food, but you can definitely do that less expensive. And then I don't know where you live, but pretty much you could probably drive there. It might take you a long time, but I had friends that drove from Boston to Nashville. So, yeah, so Ileana added, if you go for the swag, you won't be disappointed. I didn't even bring that up because I feel like I always end up with so much more than I absolutely need. Like there's always way more, but the swag usually does outvalue the price of the ticket if that is a concern that you have. Yes, it's absolutely a momcation. Absolutely, this is a great way to put it. And it's hard to explain being surrounded by so many women who have so much in common with you. Like even though you're all different and you're all different people and you have different lives and different things that you plan for, you all still have this one thing, this one hobby, this one personality trait, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of planners have that same planner gene almost. And being surrounded by all of those types of women is just, it's incredible. So that was a great question. Any other questions on planner events? Any that I didn't list that you have questions about? I can give you any insight that I may or may not have, but I'm happy to answer any questions. But those are the ones that I am planning on attending in 2019, which is less than I have done in the past, but I think I'm okay with being picky sometimes. Let's see if my tea is cooled down. The Bay Area. So you could drive from Vegas, right? I don't know how far that would be. I don't really know the West that well. And you could drive. I just don't know how long it would take you. Probably less time than it would take me from New York. I'm flying. Oh, that's delicious. I love the flavor of ginger. I know that's like a hit or miss flavor, right? You either love it or you hate it. But I love the flavor of ginger, and that little bit of honey makes it sweet. And you can tell the turmeric's in there, like not really. And I know that this is just really good for me. I made the full pot, like both scoops of tea and a full pot of water. And so as soon as this is over, I'm going to have another cup. And it's going to be wonderful. It is a May Designs cup. It's from the Go Wild May Designs event that she gave to everybody. I love that she did normal monograms, not like the Southern monogram, because I hate my initials in the Southern monogram. It looks like the name Len. That is not my name. But yeah, this is the May Designs cup, because last time I put my tea in a regular cup and then I didn't drink it as much, and when it ended, my tea was super cold. So, and you can reheat up tea as long as you didn't put dairy in it. At least that's how I operate. If I put dairy in it, I don't, that's kind of gross. I don't like to reheat it. But if it's just honey or just tea, I mean, you can reheat it. But yes, Kaden, I don't like my normal, the Southern. Now, maybe once I get married, I will like my Southern monogram. Hint, hint to someone. Yes, I know, I do. I hate Southern, for now, as long as my last name is Edwards, I hate Southern monograms. Not for other people, just for my letters. It looks like Len. That's a boy's name. Ileana, on my iPad it says team question mark. I'm assuming. Ileana, on my iPad. Oop, echo. Sorry, y'all. I was pulling up my computer hoping that I could see. Team cat? Is that what it is? Is it a cat? All right. A T-Rex. Team T-Rex. Yes. We, our room at Go Wild last year had a lot of fun. And it's hard. It's fun. It's just a good time. And you just get close. And, it's just fun. Hey, Linz. Okay, so let's move into the next part of this, which I wanted to talk about 2019 goals. The intention was, by the time I got to this live, my 2019 goals would be done and planned and set. I got together with some friends on Sunday and we worked on our power sheets, which I have right here. And I was like, we're going to be done and I'm going to get to talk about my 2019 goals in my live. Guess what? We didn't finish them. Even if we'd spent the whole day together, we were just exhausted after doing what we did do, even though we did power through, pun intended, a lot of it. I think we just needed to take a step back and take a break. So I will talk about what we got through, and I will talk about some of my mindsets, thought process. I'm going to show you a couple of pages and then tell you kind of what I'm thinking about for 2019 goals. But again, did not finish, and we're getting together again this weekend to finish them. So, yeah, power sheet fail. So, my first, let me get my notes to make sure. Okay. Now, I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, because if you watch my video on the power sheets, I did them once before. I filled them out once before, and then I didn't follow through on them, and that was because there was a big life change that happened in February. Go watch that video. You need the whole story. And so I didn't finish them, and so I'm not an expert. This is just my thoughts on what I did with my friends this weekend and just how it's going for me so far, and then I'm going to show you what I've done so far. My 2019 goal is to show you NYC. Yeah, you and Eric need to come visit. I told you that already. My friend Lindsay was talking about coming for the NYC Planner Addicts event. And as much as I'm excited for the event and I would love to have her there, I told her to just come visit. Because if you come for the event, we're only going to do event things. And I kind of want to just show her NYC. So I'm trying to convince her to come visit me now that she doesn't work weekends anymore. Okay, so my first big tip is to just start writing. I think I was so nervous about finding the right pen, having the right handwriting, not messing up. But what if I'm going to share this on social media and it's not perfect? Seriously? Nobody wants to see perfect. Nobody's inspired by perfect. Most of the time when you see perfect, all you do is beat yourself up for not being perfect. Even though, not that that person is, you don't know what that person is really like, but you got what I'm saying. So, I'll show you. So first off, I did a pen test. I finally just sucked it up and I decided this page was not as important, and I did a pen test and I tested the 4 types of pens that I brought with me, and I decided to go with the Papermate Flare because I like a thicker pen and it doesn't bleed. It shadows maybe a smidge, but it also doesn't have the like rub through on it like the Pilot did, so I decided to go with the Papermate Flare. Hello from Brooklyn, from the other side of the bridges, kind of, from where I live. The other thing is on the first page with the names, I'd originally put the date that I started them. The date that I started putting stuff down on sticky notes. that's not fair. You didn't actually start them on that day. You started putting things down on sticky notes. So I crossed it off and wrote the day that I actually started writing in them. And just making that messy or not perfect made it easier for me to just make the rest of it not perfect. And you know what? And then I used my first sticker there too. I didn't use a ton of stickers in the prep work because I really want to save them for the months. But I did a couple stickers. Okay, so another thing that I want to say is you can go back and add things to them. So don't think you have to fill it all out 100% the first time, because you're going to want to go back and add things, and things are going to pop up into your head. Or one of the things that we would do is certain pages, we would all share sort of what we put down with each other, and then one of us would be like, oh, that's a great idea, let me add it to my sheet. So this is my 2019 idea page. So I did sort of a mind map, and I put like the big categories in bubbles. So I did Sam, Plan with Laken, Health, Finances, Home Sweet Home, Me, Friends, and Family. And then I did things, little, I don't know what you call them, off of there. And just, this was just ideas. This is just supposed to be like random ideas. And then this was not this full when I started, like when I first filled out this page. As I was going through the later pages, I came back and added to this page. So yeah, it turned out great. And then I added this washi at the bottom because that white space was bothering me. But it just had a lot of ideas. And I think that I'll be able to go back and reference this page when I do finalize my goals. And then as well as some of these are really specific action items that I think will help, execute on those goals. But it was just sort of ideas for now. So that is that page. Some of these pages I will definitely not be sharing on social media because they are very private, and I'm not ready to share that with people yet. So one of the pages I do want to share because I really like it, and that is this what I'm saying no to and what I'm saying yes to page. And I want to share it with you because I want to see if you have any other ideas. Do you have anything that's kind of similar to this that I could add to my no and yes? Or just to help you, if there's anything in here that just jumps out at you, whether you're doing power sheets or not, I think that maybe making a list like this could be very beneficial. So I'm going to tell you. So things that I'm saying no to: procrastination, perfection, unnecessary spending, binge drinking. I don't want that to come across the wrong way, okay? I don't go on benders all the time, but I used to have this mindset that was, if I am going to be drinking alcohol, I want the calories to be worth it, and I want to actually feel something. Guess what? You feel something from one drink. You just gotta let it sit in a little bit. So I'm trying to accept the fact that I can have 2 drinks and enjoy the alcohol. I don't want that to come across the wrong way. Yes, I did. So someone asked if I watched Cindy's Bujo video from today and that she's having Power Sheets FOMO, and I did watch it, and I almost commented and said something about it, but I'm sure she gets a lot of comments, and so I didn't bother. That sounds terrible. I hope that you don't feel that way. I hope that you feel like if you want to comment, that you comment. And I do typically comment on other people's videos, but sometimes I don't, because I'm like, well, if they're not going to read it, what's the point of commenting? That sounds really bad. And that is nothing against Cindy, because she is amazing, has a lot going on. So, but I did. I sort of laughed at that a little bit. But I'm very excited that I got them, and I'm excited that I'm actually freaking using them. I think one of my goals should be, like when I picked the 10 big goals, and I got this idea from my friend Lisa, if you're still watching, Lisa, and that is, the goal should be to actually use the Power Sheets for the whole year. That's what the goal should be. We'll see. Okay, I'm saying no to comparisons. I'm saying no to excess TV, mindless social media, clutter, negative self-thoughts, stress eating, indulging every urge, whether that's food or screen time or etc. I'm saying no to instant gratification, and I'm saying no to the snooze button, which I talked a little bit about in my last favorites video, and that's going pretty well, although recently me and the snooze button have started seeing each other again, and we need to cut that relationship off. So I like it, and I would love to fill up the rest of these lines. I don't know where the camera's cutting off. I don't know if you can see that. So I would like to cut off the rest of those lines to hopefully fill out the rest of those lines. So hopefully I can come up with some more ideas. So, all right, now what I'm saying yes to. I'm saying yes to love, happiness, being debt-free, vegetables. I hate vegetables, y'all. I hate them. time with Sam, reading more, saving money, dance, bubble baths, celebrating small wins, progress, water, imperfection, and better sleep. I feel like I could come up with more, especially given my goals. I feel like I could come up with more. But so I am here to give you the assignment. I want you in the comments, and if you are watching live, you can do it in the actual chat, or if you want to go do it afterwards in the actual comments. I want you to tell me just one thing that you are saying yes or no to. It'd be really beneficial if you did one of each, and they can be opposites, right? So I have lots of opposites, right? I am saying no to perfection and yes to imperfection. They're like this. It's the same thing, really. Or I'm saying no to mindless social media and more to, actually, I don't have focused social media, but that could be one, right? Saying no to one thing and yes to the other. So they can go hand in hand. But I want you to comment something that you are saying yes or no to in 2019. And it can be really small. Like you're saying yes to vegetables. But don't say no to chocolate. Just say no to abundance of chocolate. Yes, you do need to try it. I think it is just a really valuable exercise, and I think I'm going to keep coming back to it and adding things as they come to me. Yes to more exercise. That's a good one. I think I need to say yes to better exercise, to be honest, because I think I do things just to do them, like just to move my body, and that's not bad. Like it's a good thing, but I think I could do better. Yes to creativity and no to self-doubt. I like that, Vanessa. I really like that. Yes to daily downtime. That's a good one, Harper. That's a really good one. I think a lot of us struggle with that one for sure. No to the snooze button. Yep. Me too. Yes to more me time. That is a great one. Saying no to isolation and yes to connection. Wow, that is really cool. And I think I'm a natural extrovert. I talked about this in my last weekly vlog. And I'm a natural extrovert, but sometimes I just need some me time. But then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to a party and for stupid reasons. But I think saying yes to those connections, and like happens to be like this Saturday we have 2 parties. Part of me wants to go to 0 of them, and Sam's like, but they're in the same neighborhood. We should just go to both. And I'm like, no. So, but I think that's a really good one. No to shoulds. Yeah. So my friend Eliana is one of the ones one of my friends that I worked on with, and we talked about stop doing things or wanting things or saying things because you should say them. And so there was something I was like, I should do this. And she was like, well, it's still 2018, so you should go do that. 2019, you wouldn't do that though, because that's a should, not something you actually want to do. Isn't that crazy? No to being so hard on myself, and yes to 30 minutes of me time. I totally support the not being so hard on yourself. Lindsay, you do so much for your family and your career and your school. 1,000% not being so hard on yourself. I don't want to sound like I'm cheating, and a lot of yours are mine too. No, absolutely. You can steal mine. Mine aren't unique or anyway life-changing, like being debt-free. For the longest time, ever since I got on my debt-free journey, 2019's always been the year that my debt was going to get paid off, and I'm glad that I'm still on that track. So saying that one is sort of cheating because I've kind of always known it was coming. I guess that's not actually true. Before I met Sam, I think it was 2020. But then when I moved in together with Sam, that cut my rent by a lot, that it got bumped up to 2019. So since I've lived with Sam, it's been 2019. I'm saying no to beating up myself when I feel like I'm not being the perfect mom, and saying yes to living in the moment and self-love. That is awesome. Doesn't just typing that out feel better? Like, you should go write it down on a sticky note and stick it somewhere. I think I'm going to say no to splurge spending. Oh, 1,000%. And I know I'm guilty of this too, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to apologize for being guilty of it as I say it. I think on social media, it is just so much of my feed is like, here's a sale code. Here's a sale. You should buy this. Here's something that I love. I think you should buy this. And I am 1,000% guilty of it as well. And I know that I contribute to it. But I really wish my feed wasn't all about buying things. Like, I really wish it wasn't, because it does make me splurge spend. And I try to only post, and I really do only post about things that I truly love. And I'm recommending them, and I'm sharing the code, because if you want them, you might as well save a little bit of money. But and I would like to think that the other people in my feed are doing the same thing. It gets to be a lot. Okay, that's a good one. Yes. Yes to self-care and kindness. Oh, I love it. We need more kindness in this world. Absolutely, Lisa. Saying no to adding more to my plate just because. Oh my gosh, +1 crafting. That is an amazing one, especially because if you've seen people post about this before, where we wear busy like a badge. Like it is a medal of honor that you are busy and that it's a good thing. And it's not necessarily a good thing. So I really like that one too. Yeah, so social media is it's good and it's bad, right? Like I can't sit here and pretend that I don't love social media for the things that it has allowed me to achieve and the benefits that it brings to my life, but at the same time it brings a lot of negative things to my life as well. And my friends and I were just talking about this, how I want to just do a purge of my feed, and I don't know how to go about that. Maybe, I don't know, because I feel like, so I wish Instagram would sort the people that you follow by like the alphabetically, and then I could do like A's and go through all the A's and delete all the ones I don't want to follow anymore. But they sort it in such a weird way. I don't know. I need to figure that out. If you have any hints for that, I would appreciate it. Sorry, I'm reading all the comments. I love all these positive vibes. Everybody just saying, I've never thought about this. This has been so great. Choosing connection over isolation is so hard. Yes to adventures and new things. That's a great one, Naomi. I'm saying no to procrastination and yes to taking care of myself. Awesome. Those are all awesome ones. And I think, now that I think about it, this list is long. And maybe what I will do is each month I will pick a yes or a no or a both and focus on it for that 1 month. Because trying to do all of this over the course of the year is impossible. And hearing all of you just pick one really, I feel like helped narrow it down, right? Like you just said one. I got to write for a whole page. So I got to list a bunch of them. Well, which one's the most important, Laken? Which one really would impact your life, your day-to-day life, and your overall 2019 if you focused on it? So that's just something to think about. Do the purge. It's not bad once you start. I use the KonMari method. Does this feed spark joy? If not, it's gone. Harper, but did you do it all in one? Like I follow like 700 people or something on Instagram. Did you go through? Oh, I could do it all in one day. I wish I could break it up into chunks, and I wish Instagram made it easier for me to break it up into chunks. Do you know what I mean? New habit for the month. Yeah, exactly, Courtney. I that's what I do now, right? I usually pick one new habit for the month that I sort of focus on. But I feel like the no yes thing is sort of a mantra, if you will. Like an overarching way to go about your life and way to go about your just day-to-day actions. It's not necessarily a specific habit. So I feel like I could do both. I feel like I could add a specific habit, and then I could also add in like this mantra. No, you did it in 2 sessions, Harper. Okay. That's still a lot of people. We'll see. I also want to do the same thing with Facebook groups. So recently I sort of did this with apps on my phone, but not by purging them, by just starting from scratch and setting my phone back to factory settings and then only downloading apps that I actually use. And yes, does that add a couple of extra seconds when I come across an app that I want and I don't have it yet and I need to go back and re-download it? Yes. But I have had way less apps and I have way less random apps that I don't use. I wish I could do the same with Facebook groups. I wish I could just kick myself out of all of them and then only go back and rejoin the ones that I like think about, oh, I want to go check this group, which is like 3 in reality. I'm a mom of 2 little boys and went back to school. My days get so crazy. The mom school combo thing, I don't know how y'all do it. I could barely do cat mom in like 9 to 5 job. There's no way. Is it refreshing for y'all? My computer is doing the spinning thing, but my iPad is showing just fine. So let me know if it's not working for y'all. could just be my computer. My Wi-Fi's been funky lately. Okay, I'm loving this. I have one more page that I want to share that I want to talk to you about in terms of goals in 2019. But I'm loving this conversation that we're having and saying yes and saying no to things, and to go back to you, Courtney, it could be a specific thing. It could be a specific habit, right? Like one of mine is saying yes to water. Okay, that's a specific action. That is a specific habit. But something like saying yes to celebrating small wins. That's not a specific habit that I can check off every day. That's just a general living my life. I'm going to celebrate the small wins kind of thing. Okay, it's working for you guys. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. My computer actually it's still not working, but that could just be my computer because my iPad is just fine. I don't know why do I have it up on like 800 places? I don't know. Okay. All right, so the other page I want to talk to you about is this word of the year thing. Actually, I have 2 pages actually. I lied. There's 2 pages about that. So the first one is just excited. It's what fires you up. And I just really liked this page. I just literally vomited a bunch of things that make me excited. That's how I tried to. Fires me up is sort of an interesting phrase. I tried to think, what do I get excited about? And I get excited about musicals. I get excited about motivational quotes. I get excited about travel. I get excited about like a really delicious latte with like fancy swirls in it. I get really excited about a fresh haircut, even if it's only like 2 inches. And honestly, I'm not even sure what the point of this page is. I don't even really know how this is being used in the grand scheme of the power sheets, but it's fun to do. And then at the bottom I put hitting my goals is what fires me up. So I think that's a good thing to think about. What fires you up? What gets you excited? And maybe I just need to put more of this in my life, these things that fire me up, but I like that one. Okay. The very last page is this word of the year hullabaloo, which I feel like people have talked about for a long time, and I never really got it. Like I never really understood. But then between doing the power sheets and watching the video from the power sheets team, and then did I find it here or did I find it somewhere else? I don't know where I heard it, but the concept was, first things first, it doesn't have to be your word for the whole year. If it's the word that's speaking to you now, but in a couple of months something changes and you want to pick a new word, you pick a new word, and it's fine. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't have to stick to something for a whole year, because sometimes I'm not so committed like that. I feel like the only thing I commit to for a whole year is like my planner. I'm pretty good about that, but that's about it. It's kind of like my favorite pages. Yeah. Like your favorites, the things that you really love. So the other thing about the word of the year is the point of it is not for it to be the perfect word, but it's supposed to remind you of a mindset that you want to have throughout the year. So I thought about that a little bit more, and it's supposed to be the word that brings you back when you feel like you are being hard on yourself, or you're straying from your goals, or you're thinking about something in the wrong way. What is going to sort of refocus you and think about what's important to you. And the way that I thought about that is I came up with the word progress. So my other options were progress, development, or develop and advance, which are just other words of progress again. But the goal is a couple of things. So focusing on the end result and not focusing on the end result. Okay, it says what has been holding you back. I don't want to focus on the end result. I want to enjoy the journey and be okay with the baby steps, and that is what progress is. I want to make sure that I'm still moving forward, even if it is a small, tiny baby step. I want to not get stuck, and I want to enjoy the journey and focus on the journey. I think there are too many things in my life that I continuously focus on the end point. And even if that end point is something that is in my control, the timing may not necessarily be in my control, and I need to stop worrying about that last final step. Hitting my goal weight, getting engaged, moving to a different city, whatever it is. getting a certain number of subscribers on YouTube. Whatever these end goals are that I have, I need to stop worrying about them and think about, is this what I'm doing right now in the moment, making progress towards those things that are important in my life? And maybe that will keep me from grabbing a cupcake at the work, baby shower. Maybe that will keep me from hitting the snooze button instead of getting up and editing that video. Maybe it will keep me from yelling at Sam for something really mundane instead of just loving on him, because that's a really stupid thing to get mad about. And thinking about it from a big picture standpoint and those little baby steps instead of one thing at a time. Instead one thing at a time instead of the whole goal. That was a lot of rambling, and I wasn't reading the comments, so I was trying to just brain dump out how I feel about it and how much I'm obsessed with the word that I picked. Thank you for joining us, Southern Tea Time. Thank you. And thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, I think that a lot of times we focus on the end and making the goal that thing, and we don't enjoy the journey. We don't appreciate the accomplishments across the journey. Like, sometimes I will text my friends or my mom, who are both working on their health as well, when I do little stupid things like order a salad at lunch instead of mac and cheese at this place that I really like their mac and cheese. I got a salad instead, okay? And those little things, that's progress. That right there is progress. It's progress from a calorie perspective. It's progress from a mind perspective. It's progress from a feeling accomplished perspective. And I need to celebrate that and appreciate that moment and that little baby step, instead of in my head immediately going, oh my gosh, okay, now how much faster can I get to my goal weight? Stop thinking about your goal weight. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. That is not the point. So I really like that. Do it. Take your word. Yes, analysis paralysis. We talked about that during our session. I think that I spend too much time thinking about the things instead of just doing the things, even if it is a small baby step. I'm going to give you a great example. Before, I'd said, if you watch my plan with me from yesterday, that I was going to edit before I went live tonight. And so I got home, I opened some mail, I ate dinner, whatever, and then I set up the stand, I set up the lights, and then by the time I actually sat down, I was going to have like 20 or 25 minutes to edit before the live started. And for a second, I was like, that's not that much time. I'm not really going to get into it. I think I'm just going to like watch an episode of something. And then I was like, stop. Even if it is just 20 minutes, that is 20 minutes that you get done. There's 20 minutes of editing time that you're going to spend. So just freaking do it. And you know what? I did it. And did I finish editing everything that I had planned on doing during today? Nope. But I got something done. I got more than nothing. And more than nothing is better than nothing. That is really inspiration right there. More than nothing is better than nothing. Oh, thank you, Anna. Anna, I'm not sure. If it was my dad, he would say Anna. But thank you. This is my hair is kind of icky, and I didn't feel like actually doing it. And I broke my straightener. Fun fact, my straightener broke. Texted my mom, hey, if you still need Christmas presents, I need a new straightener. So I'm out of luck until I get to Christmas. Thank you, Harper. So she said that I am amazing and doing great, and that progress is better than perfection, and that is one of the like lowercase e Cultivate Matters mantras. So I wasn't trying to totally steal their mantra when I turned it into my word of the year, because while it is, perfection is also an enemy that I have as well. I think it's not about for me more. It's about not appreciating the baby steps and not appreciating the impact that the baby steps have on the final goal. I think I always had, well, if I don't have this much time to study, well, then it's not even worth it. Or if I don't have this much time to work out, then it's not even worth it. Are you kidding me? Drop and give me 20. That is better than not working out. So that is sort of how my mindset is coming. Put that on a sticker. Yeah, more than nothing is better than nothing. Quote me. But yeah, Nina is really good at this, about doing something instead of nothing, like a little something. I'll do a little something is better than nothing. That should be the quote on the sticker, not more than nothing. A little something is better than nothing. Done. I love it. I love it. Fear of failure stops you from doing a lot. I think that's true for a lot of people. I think a lot of people fear that. That yeah, that's definitely me too. I definitely suffer from a little bit of that. Um, I think that I think for me, my fear is more what other people think in terms of failure, which is not good. Oh, that's more my problem. Even people that I like love and I know don't actually care. Not that they don't care, but they don't. They're not gonna judge me for doing it. Like Sam, even though like I am trying to be healthy, if I like totally cave and just want to eat like 14 cookies, he like is totally there for me, and I can really appreciate that. Yeah, fear and laziness together in the camp. This has been really great. So if you, and the last thing I want to say on the power sheets, if you are still on the fence, I get it. They're not cheap, and I get it. So no pressure. If you are slightly on the fence because you don't think that they're going to get here in time for 2019 for you to get through them, there's a 6-month option. I recommend doing that. It'll come in the mail when it comes. Although right now they're still guaranteeing Christmas arrival, so it could still get here before the new year. Get the 6-month one, and then don't commit to starting in January. Fill out the prep work as you can, and commit to starting in February or March or even April. And don't worry about the dates because the 6-month one is undated. So this is a dated 2019, but you can also get an undated 6-month. So that's an option too. But that is everything that I had to share with you. I think again, good on time. It's been about 45 minutes. We got through all the content that I had planned. Do you guys have any other questions? Naomi, that's a great suggestion. So yes, if what's holding you back from the power sheets is price, get a notebook, any notebook. I'm sure you have one. You probably have a notebook. Watch the prep videos. She talks about the pages. Now you don't have all of the words, but you have some of them, and it's a good place to start. And it's a great idea. That's a really great suggestion. And I am planning on doing a video once I am done setting my goals. Once I have, there's like a page where you have like your 10 goals. Let me show you. Maybe, I can't even hold this up at the same time. So this page, so you have like your big 10 big picture goals for the year. Once I have that page done, I'm going to do a video on it, sharing with you how I got there, what my 10 goals are, and ready for 2019. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that, Cynthia. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any other questions? It doesn't have to be 2019 goals related. It can be whatever, if you have any other random questions. Next week, we will be live, one more Thursday. I'm actually going to be at the airport. So we're going to be talking about all things travel. What better place to talk about travel than at the airport? I can't wait for all the crazy people to look at me at the airport. So the time I'm not going to 100% commit to because it will depend on security. So my goal is 7 o'clock Eastern time, and that's because my flight's at 9. So I'd like to sit with you from 7 to 8 and then have like 30 minutes to like go to the bathroom, whatever, and get in line before we start boarding. But if security is crazy long, it may be 7:15 or even 7:30, which would still be fine. We could still squeeze in an hour before I have to go get on the plane. So I know, I can't believe that it is December 13th. And I can't believe I go home in a week for the holidays, which is sort of crazy. It is sort of crazy. What do I do when I get really overwhelmed? That's a great question, Anna. So 2 things that I do when I get really overwhelmed. The first one is I get it all out of my head. What is making me overwhelmed? And I just start, I like to type at this point because my hand usually can't keep up with my brain, and my perfectionism on my handwriting can't keep up with my brain. So I usually pull out my laptop and I just start typing all of the things in my head, whether they're to-do things, short term or long term, or just thoughts I have, and I just try and vomit it all out on my computer. And then I try and step back from it, and then small action steps from that point. So I try and sort them by like, what are the little things? So is there a little baby thing on that to-do list that like you could do right now in 3 minutes? Do it. Just get it done. So you can check it off and be done. And that just that sense of checking something off makes me feel better in that sense. Now, if even after doing that, you're still like, no, there's just so much going on, then you really, at this point, I would take a step back and what can get cut? What is on the list that can just go away? Like, what is, it could be something, obviously there's things that can't get cut. I realize that. But there has to be something that came out of your brain that is causing you stress and making you feel overwhelmed that you're putting on yourself. And for me, most of the time, it's something around the house, or it's something, I'm trying to think of, like, it's just something that, reading a book, or getting, I don't know, getting something prepared for something that's like a month away. That, no, cross it off, get rid of it, and if it comes back to your brain later, then it was important enough to do. Does that help? I hope that helps. I hope that helped a little bit. My tea is still hot. I'm so glad that I put it in this cup, in this mug, so that it's still warm. Last time my tea, by the end of this, was so cold. Any other questions? Otherwise, this is a good time. We're about 15 minutes. And next week, 7:30-ish. Something like that. And I think YouTube will actually let me click go live whenever I want, so I'm going to schedule it. I think I'm going to schedule it for 7:15. I think that's what I'm going to do. And if I happen to be able to click it early, great. If not, oh well. All right. For those of you that joined me live, thank you so much for chatting with me. I think we had some great breakthroughs, and I really appreciated this. If you are watching the replay, thank you for coming by. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and every day during December for Vlogmas. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning!